Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Friday night? Welcome to another General Aviation VOR Classic Navigation night. That was a lot of navigations. We're over in Portland, and we'll be heading to Baker City, just a couple hundred miles east of Portland. And we are currently in the A2A Comanche, which we, for some reason, haven't flown on stream very much. In fact, I haven't really spent that much time in it at all. And honestly, probably maybe just a little has to do with the way it looks. Ben Kenobi Cook says, nice, I'm in Oregon and fly there all the time. Maybe I'll come give you a buzz. And I'm great, thanks. That's awesome. So I take it you are, you said you're in Oregon, so you go to this specific airport, KTTD? Is that where you fly out of? Or is it more, or another airport nearby? Let's see, where was I on my intro here? Okay, anyways, back to the A2A Comanche. I've not been the biggest fan of the way it looks, I have to be honest. However, I did get some mods, and I am absolutely in love with this paint that I've got going on here. And getting the white propeller up front. I think this is is this the Macaulay prop? Or does it say anywhere? Here we go. What's that say? MT propeller. I'm not sure. What is the name of it? Whatever the MT propeller is. That blends in perfectly with the paint. And then I'll also change the interior here. So you get this nice brushed metal finish along with the black panel in the background. I think that kind of changed my mind a little bit. I fly out of KRDM, Redmond, and Central Oregon. Okay, awesome. I'm not very familiar with the West Coast. I'm an East Coast guy, so I apologize. My geography around this part of the country is not the best. However, I do absolutely love flying over here and would like to fly more. So if you have any suggestions, Ben, on where we should fly in the future, please let me know. So anyways, back to the Comanche here. You know, with my... Hello. Somebody's flying right through me here. With my grumblings, which are... You know, it's kind of in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Beauty that is. It's not my favorite looking aircraft, but it is my... What is going on with this door? Why is this door open? Who opened the door? I don't remember that being open. What the... Can I... Oh, you can when you get back to the cockpit. Okay, cool. Anyways, getting distracted there. You know, squirrel! It is definitely the best General Aviation airplane we have in terms of realism. You know, I did the walk around prior to loading up the stream here. Just everyone's probably seen the walk around at this point, so didn't feel like wasting time doing that. But the realism of everything, the systems modeling, the engine modeling, it's all great. So one thing we will do real quick before we do go up in the air is go ahead and run through the inspections here. Everything seems to be okay. Go ahead and top that battery off while we are thinking about it, and it is topped off again. So with that being said, guys, if you're currently enjoying the content that this channel produces, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Definitely helps get the videos and the streams out to a broader audience, and helps me out and gets more people flying with us. That's what this channel is all about. It's having some fun flying with some friends. So, and fixing the sim for people when they have problems. That's probably what we're most known for. But currently we've got Dev, Hilly, Archetype, Loggins, myself, Ron, and Kyle on the ground. So they're waiting on me to shut up and get back in the cockpit. So let's go ahead and do that and get this thing up in the air. And like I said, we are flying without GPS tonight, and I will bring the flight plan over momentarily to go over that. There are some weather concerns, as you can see. It's not the best day in terms of weather, and a little bit of terrain concerns, mainly Mount Hood, but something to be aware of. So let's get back in here and get everybody up on the same page here. We'll go over the flight plan together, so that way I don't have to repeat myself. Okay, I'm back. Go ahead and shut this door because everyone's engines running are a little loud. All right, so as we drag Navigraph over, and Heli, you may have to mute yourself. I can hear myself.
Oh, okay. Does that...
I don't know if you're on speakers or whatnot.
Wait,
Squad.
hold on a second. You
What?
said drag Navigraph over. I thought we weren't using Navigraph.
I have the GPS of Navigraph turned off, but I'm using it for charts.
My bad. That makes sense. Okay.
Yep. And I have got Volanta zoomed out, so I can't see anything. So if you guys don't believe me, here's what Volanta looks like. It's just really zoomed out. Can't see anything.
Not really big deal. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fair. That's just wait until I give you a hard time.
Oh, great.
Do not start with the Joker. Do not start joking with the Joker. Okay, so we're going to be flying out of KTTD on a heading of 065 for approximately 55 nautical miles. And we're going to be heading towards LTJ. We'll pick that up. Is it a high altitude? It is a high altitude, so we should pick it up immediately once we get above terrain. And that's going to be on the 112.3 frequency. And then we're going to depart that on a heading of 118 and pick up IMB, which is also high altitude VOR at 1156. So we should not be without navigation this entire time, which is great. Once we get to IMB, we're going to do a left turn and depart on a heading of 067 on over to KBKE, looking for the 115.3 VOR over at Baker City Municipal. And once we get there, we'll check the weather on the way there, figure out what runway we are doing, and then figure out what we need to do for approach and everything. So they do have an RNAV, VOR, and VOR, so obviously we can't use RNAV. We don't have an RNAV radio, or do we have a GPS? So we'll be doing one of the VORs, runway unspecified, potentially. We'll take a look at that once we get up in the air, heading that way. Squad, Ben says. What do you mean by squad? Is that an area to fly in, or what you talking about, Willis? All right. Is everyone clear on the instructions and the flight plan before we get this thing up and running? Okay. All right. Like I said, I've already done the walk around, so let's go ahead and go over to the checklist. Before engine start, pre-flight is complete. Passengers have been briefed, seatbelt secured. Controls lock has been removed. Parking brake is set. Gear switch is confirmed down on my Bravo. Flaps are up. Radios are off. Off. Okay. And off. Autopilot master is off, and master avionics is also off, and all electronic switches are off also. Go ahead and take a look at our circuit breakers. Those appear ought to be good. It'll be pretty low if not. And the rotating beacon can come on. This one. Engine start, fuel selectors to desired tank. We're going to go with both tanks on here. I think we were supposed to have one of these tanks turned off while I was sitting here, but no big deal. Mixture rich, throttle cracked. Carb heat off. Carb heat's in. Master switch to on. Can hear that rotating beacon. Fuel pump to on. Let's check for fuel pressure. Fuel pressure's coming up. Let's let that get all the way up to the, I think it's about 5 psi there. There it goes. Fuel pump can go off. And primary 1 to 5 strokes. We're gonna do 3. 1, 2, and 3. Mags to both. And prop area clear. Clear prop. And I think that we're actually picking up a little bit of fog on the inside of this thing. It's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and open this. Get a little outdoor noise here. And I believe we are ready to hit the starter. So I'm going to start her. We're going to watch for the oil pressure once this thing turns over for us. There she goes. Oil pressure is rising. Let's bring the RPM down to 1,000. And let's get this defroster turned on. See if that clears up these windows. I don't know if it's a glare or it's actually getting foggy in here. I'm going to close this little window up. Seems to have done a good job for starting there. Okay, so oil pressure Has climbed to the green, and fuel pressure's still good. We've got about 17 or so gallons in each tank, and tip tanks are full. Wait for that old temp to come up. And what we're going to do here is lean for the ground so we don't foul those plugs. Let's watch for an RPM drop, and we'll leave it right there. Taxi, primer locked. Avionics master on. Ammeter is checked. Ammeter, where you at? Remember seeing you. Am I just overlooking this thing? Does anybody know where the ammeter is in this thing?
Hold on. It right by oil pressure on the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yep. So we
Underneath
are
yes.
we are charging plus 18 amps or so. Seems like a lot. I don't know why
Yeah,
that's
I'm
so
0
high.
amps right now.
Is my It does seem kind of high for some reason. We do have some lights on, but I couldn't imagine those are pulling that high of amperage. Interesting. What does our maintenance page show? Hardly anything. It's saying 3.7 amps. Then why does this show almost like plus 19? Interesting. Oh well. Back to the checklist. Avionics masters on, ammeters checked. Radios, we can bring those back on. Those guys warm up. Get going. Not sure if we'll need this one for this flight, but we'll go ahead and turn her on just in case. Our windows did clear up, so I wonder if that was fog or not. I'm not sure if that was simulated. Radio's on, transponder as required. We're just gonna keep it as 1200 for now. And altimeter, the weather here at in Portland. Let me open it. Quite a bit on the weather here, so let's go through this real quick. We have winds of 230 at 10 knots, visibility 10 miles, scattered clouds at 2800, broken clouds at 6500, and broken clouds at 8000. So we might want to consider climbing. If this is AGL, then we're going to be well up in the air. We'll be somewhere around 12,000 feet. So we might consider staying below the clouds if we can. So 2,800 feet. So let's plan for 2,500 feet above ground level. The current altimeter is 29902. Oh, that's unusual. Don't normally get that. 29902. So my altimeter is showing that can't be right. 200 feet.
I got 29909.
Yeah, it's why is this only showing me?
We're only at 200 feet too.
Yeah.
I'm at 909.
Let's make sure we are on live weather here, real time. Yep.
We all have different altimeters.
Thought we were much higher than that here. Elevation of 39 feet. Okay, so that sounds about right then. Okay, I thought we were much higher in this area. So we're not going to be able to do the 2,600 feet because there's a lot of terrain in the 4,000s around us once we head towards Mount Hood.
I thought someone was supposed to end up in a mountain anyways.
Yes, that was the whole. That was the plan. Just to have someone end up in a mountain. So, what we're going to do then is we're going to climb to 8,000 feet and be in the soup. And let's go ahead and set this. Can I just hit refuel here and it'll work, or does it need to change? Change fuel plus. Oh, here, let's do it the lazy way and just. I think you go to the maintenance page.
it's maintenance and fuel or something like that. To set
Fuel and payload. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Fuel. There we go. There we go. Fix that. Safe. All right. So the winds are 230 at 10 knots. We're going to be taking off runway 7. Just to simplify it. Light rain. Ceiling is 6,500 feet. HEL. And that. Okay. So the ceiling's 6,500, but we got broken clouds or scattered clouds at 2,800, and then we'll continue on into the 8,000 foot mark. We are going east, so we actually need to let's go to 9,000 feet. How about that? That takes care of all that. We should have okay. Well, temperature's coming up in the green here, and let's go ahead and get our first VOR in the airplane here. So we're going to be departing on a heading of 065. And I did correct my everybody make sure your GPS and your HSI are correct, because we were flying on I think the East Coast, and the
Oh
things
wow,
changed
that's
quite a bit.
Significant change.
It was like 90 or 180 degrees or something crazy like that. All right. The first VOR is going to be on 1123.
What heading do we set our OBS to?
OBS 065. I'm actually picking up the VOR on the ground here. That's wonderful. Oh, 65. There we go. So we'll depart and start heading that way. And then our standby is going to be our 1156. And then what we'll go ahead and do is put that into our nav2. And that'll pop up down here on this VOR. Which I'm actually picking that up from here too, which is incredible, considering the terrain between here and there. Alright, I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and do a controls check real quick. Right. Everything's working. Strobe light. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights on, and we're going to go ahead and get our pitot heat on. And the fuel pump will leave off until we get rolling here. Cylinder head temperature's in the green, so we're great there. And we'll go on to our run up. We'll just do a quick run up here. Let's get track IR set up. And we're expecting runway 7. So let's go ahead and enrichen the mixture just a touch here. Go ahead and break off. Runway 7 is going to be in front of us, we believe.
My 170-pound cat is chilling in the co-pilot seat.
Your 170-pound cat?
It defaults to that. I didn't want to change it. It's too lazy to go into weight and balance. So I just left it there.
You have a cat?
From the Got Friends Avatar pack.
Oh, that's awesome. That is a chunky cat. Alright, winds were, what was it, 190 or 200 or so, so we will point our nose to the left up here at the run-up area. So that way we're into the wind. I did bring the flaps down to your approach flaps for our departure.
You guys are down by 7? We can't see, my brother and I can't see you at the moment.
Yep, we're heading down to 7.
Apologize in advance then if we run through you at some point.
You're fine. Hey, you guys, you said you were able to hear or see us at first, right, Helly?
You being you popped in for a little while and then you disappeared again.
I gotcha.
We probably could do an intersection takeoff if we don't want to go all the way down here. Just a thought.
Pay for the whole runway. We're going to use the whole runway, man.
Fair enough.
Run up zones down here too.
Oh, I already ran up while we're waiting for you to start up.
It's okay. Flying an airplane
What's
that
wrong with my engine?
might have the tendency to, try to kill us.
True.
Well, you might want to do it in the
Two
run-up.
dead pistons.
Ugh. That doesn't sound good.
I hear something clanking in front of me too, and also it won't idle. It stops when idling.
Yeah. Dev got the Timu A2A Comanche. Alright, let's go ahead and get the mixture in the full rich, since we are at, sea level, apparently. And then we are going to follow this line right here, poke our nose to the left. Do our run up.
In my defense, there may have been one or two hard landings in this thing.
Just a couple. I did break a flap the other day. Alright, there's 200 or 2,000 RPM. Let's go ahead and cycle the prop. Prop cycled. Let's go left mag. Back to both. Right mag. Back to both. And carb heat. And back to both. Everything sounds good. Bring it back to 1,000. And let's go ahead and enter this runway here. Let's get these landing lights on. Oh, we already had them on. Fuel pump on. Flaps are set. Trim is not neutral. Let's go ahead and neutralize that. It's neutral. And we are clear to the left. And there's the army of planes behind me. Clear to the right. And let's get out of here. This is going to be a pretty takeoff. Let's go full power.
What am I stuck on?
Over about 80 miles per hour or so. This thing is in miles per hour. Alright, rotate. Starting to lift there before that. That was the right gear up. Let's get a little bit of trim action going here. Well, I should have got my webcam set up. Let's go ahead and bump that RPM down to 2,500. Get it out of the red. Because there is quite a bit of trimming and lever manipulation going on with this thing. Alright, there's 500 feet. Flaps up. And let's do a slight left turn. Get onto that 6065 nav track. There's 1,000 feet. Let's go 1,500 to a throttle reduction. Trimming it out a little bit. What's that?
As I say, I've lost my brother now as well. I see a lot of other planes in the sky, but don't see you guys or anyone.
Oh. Alright, let's go ahead and nose over a little bit. Bring that
I'm behind you.
vertical speed down. Let's pull the power back. Let's go 24 on the pressure. And 24 on the RPMs. I'm not actually sure what the climb settings were on this thing. Climb 24, 24. Oh, look at that. I was making numbers up, and it actually turned out to be exactly right. Oh, shoot. If you see an F-15 low flying the Columbia River during your flight, don't stress. I'm friendly. Oh, okay. gonna have this little escort. All right, so climb is 24. Best climb angle is 84. Best rate of climb is 105. So we can trim her up just a touch more here. And a normal climb is 120. Oh, okay. So I'm not even gonna mess with it. We are looking for 8,000 feet. We are going to be in that weather right there, which is going to be interesting. I wonder what the temperature is. Did not think about temperature because West Coast is a little different than East Coast right now. We may not be able to go to that altitude, guys. It's already like 42 degrees. So I'm going to cancel that idea, and we're going to stick at 4,000 feet. Let's see what that does for us. Bring that manifold pressure back up. Nose trim over just a little bit more. We are at coming up on 3,500 feet.
So stealing the quote, I'm going to cancel that idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, we don't have anti-ice in this thing, so falling out of the sky is not something I particularly want to do today. Coming up on 4,000 feet. Keep trimming the nose over. A little bit of back pressure. Let that speed catch back up. And what we're going to do is go ahead and turn our autopilot on since we are about to go into IMC here. And we're going to be staring at our charts momentarily. So there's 4,000.
I actually know how to use the autopilot.
Said you do not know how to use it?
Not in this thing.
It is not super straightforward, but it's not very difficult either. So we're going to go into heading mode for now. Heading. And then let's get it back down to 4,000 feet. My trim is causing me to climb some here. And cruise is at up to 24, between 18 and 24, so we'll leave it here until we get her trimmed out. Coming up. And let's go altitude, hold. Let's go back. We are planning on cruising a little slower tonight, so our cruise range is between up to 24. So let's put her at 2020. Let's see what that speed settles at. So 20 inches of manifold pressure, 20 or 2,000 RPM. Get those stabilized, and then we'll trim her, lean it out. Look at this thing fighting with the heading. This is wild. Apparently I can see the terrain around us, so it's not too terrifying, but there is terrain ahead of us we may have to climb through shortly. So I'm not going to lean it out because we may be climbing very shortly here.
I know worry about my outside temperature right now.
Yeah, I'm at 40 degrees, which is awfully low in this kind of weather.
At 35.
So we are 43.5 miles away from our first VOR, which was, what was it called? LTJ. You're not quite on the nav track either, so I'm going to do a little bit harder of a left turn here.
You see a falling block of ice out of the sky, you know who it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm picking up some rain now, so let's keep an eye on that temperature and make sure that doesn't drop out from under us here. But we'll be able to go, so currently I'm in heading mode, so you can just click the button in a couple times until you get to heading mode, and then what we'll do is we'll change it to high, which will go into VOR nav here for us once we get onto the nav track itself. So I'm cruising about 155 miles per hour, about 130 knots or so. 135.
Do you see where we are in relation to you?
I have not looked outside the cockpit very much, to be perfectly honest, but we are coming up on a lake here, so let's see if we can find that.
I
Or
got
is
like
that
a
just
triple
river?
rainbow happening here.
Oh, really? Let's take a look outside real quick. I got you guys behind me. River is off to our right. Oh, so that's just the river. Okay. So we are on the left side of the river at the moment, so Boonville should be coming up over, I guess. Oh, we are on the nav track now, so let's go ahead and go over to high and make sure this continues following. We want that to be on 065. There we go. Okay, right turn. Beautiful. Beautiful. This terrain around here is awesome. Good job, Dev.
Thanks.
We are clearing up a little bit. It's cabin temp. 65 degrees. We're doing okay. Alright, I think we're okay at this altitude, so let's go ahead and lean it out a little bit. Pressure peak. Slowly, about 5 degrees a second. Start leaning out those EGTs. Keep on going. It'll give us a lean setting here, or a lean established setting momentarily. Four is flashing. Getting closer, getting closer. Oh, Linus, there it is. Alright, let's bring her back in. She's starting to sputter a little bit on me. Let's let that stabilize for a second here. It's beeping at me because of the trim, so it's saying trim up. So we need to trim up. There's not auto trim in this thing, so let's go ahead and give it some trim up. Let it recover. Ben Kenobi is, what are you laughing about? Did I miss something? Or did I say something stupid? Nope, still gotta trim. Maybe? I'll trim up a little bit more, maybe? Trim down. We went too far. There we go, trim down. Alright, as soon as, of course, we get the lean established here, so we want to be, I think it's 20 to 50 degrees cooler? Switching up just a touch more. We're burning 9.8 gallons per hour, cruising at a ground speed of 150 knots. And we're still 33.8 miles out. So looking on along the river here, I'm going to turn my track IR off so it doesn't get too distracting in the background. And we'll try to make sure we don't run into anything. So we just crossed back over 30. This whole thing was 55 miles. We are 32.5 miles out. So we are currently just on the right side of the river. So we are probably about right here at Boonville. So if we looked out, there should be a mountain off to our right about 4,500 feet. Cascade Lock State. I got a rainbow. Look at that. There should be some locks off to our left. A mountain off to the right. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, I got like a double rainbow going here. You guys just said you had a triple?
I did at one point.
I think that's Mount Hood off to our right, too. Yes, it is. That is Mount Hood. Look at that. It goes like all the way around the airplane. Oh. I was thinking you, Dev, about your selection in terms of terrain, and then you said thanks. So he's laughing about that.
Oh.
Alright. This is proving to be a very beautiful flight. Here yelling about that trim some. Oh, there's somebody off to the left. Who is that? Kyle. And Dev. You guys are sticking with me here. Got archetype above us. We got the nippy swirl off to our right, guys. And Ron is ahead of us, along with Bloggins and Helly. They were just a little ahead of us there. Say hello to Nippy Swirl. Mr. Purple Nurple over there. Alright, 27.4 miles. We're just going to sit back and enjoy the train. Take a look at our instruments. Everything's happy. Okay, Rich Peak 17. Let's richen them just a touch more. I'm looking for at least 20 degrees cooler.
I saw you guys for all of like 10 seconds, then you disappeared again on us.
Ah, it's unfortunate.
It's the servers.
Man, I hope if they fix anything, it's that 24.
Oh yeah.
Now, what's going to be interesting to me is how long it's going to take our group to move over to 24.
That's, yeah. Well, for me, it's going to be instant.
I have a pretty much a blank M2 drive just waiting for it.
I may have to invest in another one.
I got it on Boxing Day, so it's like, yeah, it's. And I said, don't need it right now, but it's installed.
Yep.
2 terabytes, I think I got free on it.
I'll have to take a good look at my computer's storage. And it'll be okay, but
Oh, my bad, it's a 4 terabyte.
Think you'll uninstall 20 when 2024 comes out?
no, probably not. I flew around with Burstick's TV last night, and he was flying this for like half the flight and was ranting about how great it was, thinking I need a Comanche. Yeah, like I said, my only complaint about the airplane is how it looks. I'm not a huge fan of it. It just doesn't scratch that itch. But as far as systems go, it is amazing. It is the best GA aircraft that we have right now. Cannot argue that fact. So I do think it is worth the money, and it was pretty cool when they announced it at the Flight Sim Expo last year, because I was there, and it was amazing hearing the crowd reaction to it, ooh and awe, and like people screaming "Take my money" in the middle of the presentation.
How much did it cost? I don't remember.
I want to say it was like $40.
Was it 50 bucks?
It may have been
That's not
50.
bad at all.
I don't remember.
I really hope it works in 2024, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be my thing. For devs, I can understand the desire to want to make money again. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see some upgrade cost. Maybe it's $5-10 or something, but I wouldn't be surprised if they
Still
do
not
ask for
free.
Do what?
For the planes that fly a lot, that's fine. But just to get your entire library over, that could get annoying and expensive fast.
Yes, but at the same time, people got to remember that we've had this version for 4 years, which is a very long time.
That's true.
Compared to, you look at the history of Flight Sim, having it for 2 years and having to buy the whole airplane again once the new version came out was pretty common.
Paying for any airplanes in like Flight Simulator 98 or 2000.
I didn't buy any, but I was
They
also
were all open source. I'm pretty sure they were all open source back then.
I bought like the odd disc, but they sold them back on disc back then. So you had to go to like the store and you bought a expansion pack of planes.
That's right.
Yeah, you couldn't
That
just
was a
download
thing?
it like you can now. You had to actually like order them,
Really?
get them shipped to you.
Yeah, and they didn't. I don't remember there being like the library that there is available now.
Yeah.
Don't know instant gratification going to justflight.com and to downloading a plane instantly.
No,
That's what I did. I went to like Just Flight websites, and then you could get free stuff. Like I had C-17. I had a lot of military planes back in the day, but I had to download zip files and do all that file folder work from websites.
Yeah.
But they were free. But they're, you know, you had to do all that manually.
Yeah, but a lot of the payware stuff was like they shipped you CDs. I know, like
Yeah,
when like
I think
PMDG came out, for example, they were shipping them in CDs.
The thing is, I think this time around, people are more mad about the flight someone switching over because the planes are so much more advanced. It takes a lot longer development time-wise to get migrate over. And even though now the flight sim's established, it probably is an easy SDK or just changing some of the file structure, but still, it's a little weird.
I think it's. I don't want to say it's more advanced because the systems in these airplanes. I mean, look, we're modeling airplanes from the 50s and calling it a high fidelity airplane. It hasn't changed. Now the
But
back end
the
code,
level of, yeah.
the code to support the airplane has changed, and then the development tools. So learning the SDK, like you were saying, is really the sticking point for a lot of people.
But the thing is, like, the Comanche, if it was made in FS98, it probably would not have all the failures or the maintenance systems or the animations that it does now. So it probably takes longer to develop with the modern.
Oh, I'm sure. But you also got to think too, like even the 3D model in general. Like, you know, you have this virtual cockpit now where it's all 3D. Back in 2000, you know, you had your 2D cockpit.
We're definitely spoiled nowadays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big time.
Just a quick one, because I can't see where you guys are. I'm about 10 miles out. It's when we depart this nav aid, we're headed the 118 degrees we turn to.
Yep, right turn 118
Right.
degrees.
And 115.60 on the for the radio.
Yes, correct. So my plan is to, once I get within a couple miles here, go into heading mode. And then once I get my distance drops to 0, I'll swap VORs, do a right turn to 118, about a mile to go. And
Yeah.
get back on that nav track. But the weather has cleared up significantly for us here, so we can probably actually go to a more appropriate altitude of 5,000 feet here, since we are no longer weather restricted. So let's go ahead and do alt to disengage, and let's trim up. We'll just keep the same power settings, and we'll fix the, we don't need to go any richer or leaner at the moment, so we'll just keep it at the current power settings and try to get up in the air a little bit higher here. Just rolling that trim knob around, trying to stabilize about 500 feet per minute or so.
Comanche's yoke looks super uncomfortable to actually grip.
Yeah. Crazy question, but is it possible to make the Boonville Salt Flats as a location in a variety of land, what's that say? Can't read the land speed vehicles. I did see that there's finally one, but I think a variety on location would kill it.
That's a nice area. There's a lot of neat spots around
Is it
there.
Boonville or Boonaville?
Bonneville.
Bonneville. Hang on, let me navigate, and then we will answer that question or discuss that. Stuck at 4,500, going to 5. We're going to go into heading mode real quick. And let's shift it back this direction here. Let's go ahead and tune. We'll wait to swap this here in a moment to 1156.
That mountain peak, is it?
What's that?
The ridge? The nav. I'm just wondering if it's actually in game.
It looks like it might be on the ridge.
I'm seeing some antennas, but that could be the I Love VFR.
Well, it's the I Love VFR that we're seeing most likely, but the antennas might be
Yeah.
what is quote unquote
I'm
there.
also seeing some sort of compound right at the kind of the end of the ridge there.
Yep,
That looks circular.
that might be it.
That is it.
So that's pretty
It's
cool to
there.
see.
Yeah, I got it.
So let's go ahead and do our right turn to
I'm just flying over it right now.
go to 170. Or no, was it 118? Whoops, turned too far.
118, 118.
Yep, I turned too far. Let's go to 110.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, yeah, you want to go to 11 dot.
Yeah. And let's go to 120, 12, so it's 118. And we got 87 miles to go. And that is, I believe, what we're supposed to be going. There's 5,000 feet, so we'll fix that here in a second. And let's go ahead and swap back over to high on the VOR and get this thing back down to 5,000 feet and hit the altitude
Oh, jeez.
hold button.
My needle's lined right up.
It's nice when it all kind of just comes together.
There's definitely quite a bit of wind.
Yes, there is.
Because I just turned on nav and it's not flying along the needle, that's for sure.
All right, come on, descend, girl. There we go. Altitude hold. Let that stabilize. All right, 5,000 feet. We are on the nav track. And let's get our heading bug. Got 84.3 miles to go. And let's go ahead and dial in our next VOR, which is 1153. And I don't think we're reading that one just yet. That might not be high altitude VOR since it is at that airport. Okay, Ben, let's go back to your question here. So, crazy question. Is it possible to make the Bonneville Salt Flats as a location and a variety of land speed vehicles? I did see there's finally one, but I think a variety and location would kill. Are you saying, is there like a scenery you could have with, you know, those land speed vehicles?
Sounds like he's suggesting that we get land vehicles and, you know, run a session with those.
Oh, okay.
At the Bonneville Salt Flats, which are very broad, very fast. You can get them up to hundreds of miles an hour without
Sure.
hitting anything. I don't know. Sounds like what he said.
Don't know if we would do that on this channel, if to be honest.
But we could fly over it.
We can definitely fly over it, yes. He also said that his neighbor builds those things and the community is quite similar to the AV community. Oh, are they, so are they big into, I would imagine they're big into flight simulation. And what do you mean by quite similar? Oh my goodness. Quite similar to the AV community. Oh,
I
AV,
like
you mean
UAA.
ham radio. Ham radio?
I think it's like gearheads respect gearheads. It's like game recognizes game. So,
Yeah.
you know, car people are gearheads, airplane people are gearheads.
Yeah. I always enjoy all the aviation stuff, mainly because of the systems where I'm, you know, an engineer. You know, I like things more than I like people most of the time. Which is probably fair for most men. Precisely, yeah. All right, let's just go ahead and confirm what we're doing here. So we are tracking the VOR At about, is that 118 or 112? Or 9? 112, there's 118, okay. Tracking the VOR, and we got quite a crosswind here. And actually, we got a tailwind, looks like. We go to our ground speed, got 152 knot ground speed and 130 indicated, so that's a nice little tailwind. 76.5 miles to go. All at about 10 gallons per hour. Crazy old guys with money and gear. Those are the kind of friends you want to have. I'll get you guys off to my right here. Helium Bloggins and Archetypes right in front of me. Ron's ways ahead of us. Purple Nurple's behind us.
I can actually see you at the moment.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you guys are all off to my right there. And Kyle is up there with Ron, maybe? Trying to find Dev. There he is. There's Dev.
Hands can have Kirk will ton off hand flying this entire way.
You gotta figure out that autopilot. It's not too hard. It's just different.
It's 2 buttons. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Pretend you're in the soup and you have to.
Alright, so if you look down at your below your speed there, get your turn coordination dial.
Yes, I see that.
Your autopilot is built into that. So
Oh my gosh, that's ingenious.
the mode, the little dial that you can roll back and forth is if you wanted to do a, I think it's a standard turn. So if you roll it left or right, the airplane will roll left or right depending on how far you got it past 90 degrees for vertical. That's your ST mode. HD mode is your heading. And low and high track are your VOR tracking.
Got it.
Most stuff we can do it in high for high precision. Something that's catching my eye here is, let's take a look at our compass. We're about 130.
Wait, so can it automatically fly my VOR without me having to put any input into it?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It won't go from VOR to VOR very well, even with a GPS. Let's make sure our compass here matches up with our HSI, at least relatively close. So it should be about 130 on each, and not quite.
Oh, and I forgot my flaps.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes.
That's your 500-foot checklist item. Checklist.
I wasn't looking at my checklist.
I think he's doing it on purpose now.
I think he does. I think he likes the attention. So we're about 130. It's kind of swinging back and forth here, so just a touch this way.
Fascinating geography out here. It's like flat, flat, flat with these gullies going through it. It's the beginning of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it's a very interesting area. I don't know if I've actually flown in this area in the sim. Yeah, I mean we're still quite a ways from the Grand Canyon, but
No, I said it's like how the Grand Canyon began, maybe.
I'm not sure how the rivers flow out of here, but you're probably onto something.
Remember like that Flintstones episode where, I remember them as a kid, like they went up, this little stream trickling along the ground and with the signpost saying the Grand Canyon, and Fred going, they say it's going to be pretty spectacular one day.
$65.2 miles to go. And turn our landing lights off just to reduce the alternator load some. It's nice and sunny out now, clear skies-ish. Saying 25 minutes. What's that bottom frequency? Hold frequency. Hold. Oh, you can push the little recall button to recall your frequency there. That's pretty nifty. Alright, let's see if we can figure out exactly where we're at here. So we're at 62 miles or so.
Oh, I should probably turn pitot heat off. Just realized that.
You're not really hurting anything. It's pretty cool outside, 40 degrees. So this leg was 87 miles. We are at 61 miles, so we're somewhere around this area right here. So the John Day River might be what we're approaching here. This terrain makes it a little difficult to kind of figure out what's going on here. But we're actually going to be flying through a Red Hawk MOA.
I'll call center and get clearance.
Okay, that'd be a good idea.
Are you on that sim right now?
No. The river is going to be our biggest item. There's some windmills off to our left too, so let's see if we can find some windmills. There they are. There's the windmills. Look at that. It's amazing when things work out. So that means the
Hilarious.
river is, so if these are well off, we've passed the river. Okay, so we are coming up to Mayville. We should be seeing a transmission line somewhere along the way there.
Its autopilot is laughably archaic.
Oh
It's
yeah,
also awesome. It has charm to it.
it's a challenge. It's a nice little challenge. Look at this farmland around here. What a strange place to have farmland. Or I presume that's
Although I am-
farmland. Looks like
I
it.
am surprised I didn't have to type in Morse code to get my altitude set or whatever.
You're speaking up Ben's crazy old guys with gears tree there.
Probably had to be proficient in Morse code back then to get it.
Yep. Oh, there's a transmission line. We just passed it. So looking for that. So we are. Here's the transmission line. So we are just past Fossil. We should see another pretty hefty ravine, and then a radome off to our left here. Should be going between a couple of should be going shooting the gap between two peaks if we can really tell what those are, because this elevation right there is around 3,000 feet or so. So 1,500 to 2,000 feet above that. Let's look off our nose and see if we can figure out what we're looking at. Seeing the peaks in front of us just yet. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot to look at until we get closer to Kimberly Longview Ranch, which is the VOR we're tracking right now, 53 miles away. There's that ravine with the river I was mentioned. I think that's the most fun part about doing the VOR nav, is when you look at the cockpit in the sim and you actually see the things you see on the map. What's a little disheartening is when you have absolutely no idea where you're at. You start dialing in VOR frequencies in hopes that one of them works.
Considering I just learned how to fly a VOR yesterday, I haven't had that experience yet.
Oh yeah, well, heck, I got lost doing some Caribbean flying with VORs. I got on the wrong side of the island, and I was so turned around, it was just messing with my head. And then, you know, I was on stream too, so people were laughing at me. Or at least I thought
Does
they
it
were.
deserve laughing or not?
Oh, absolutely. I deserve every bit of laughter
Okay.
that comes my way.
Ooh, I should probably turn my transponder on. That'd be helpful.
Be more helpful if we were on VATSIM. A VOR flight on VATSIM would actually be a pretty neat experience. Still burning 10.2 gallons per hour. Nothing too crazy there. Temperatures in the green, fuel pressure's in the green, oil pressure's in the green. Everything looks good on the airplane.
I was on the edge of taking the Avro Vulcan tonight, but it was too fast.
Avro Vulcan.
The Just Flight Vulcan.
Ah, okay. Got more windmills off the
Good thing.
left. I don't see those on.
The engines do sound beautiful in that aircraft.
They really do.
Brake Center advises the MOA is inactive at this time.
Beautiful. All right, you know what? Those turbines I'm seeing off to the left now, I'm wondering if the ones we first saw were inaccurate, because looking at the 47 miles we got to go, we should only be halfway through this line, and looking at the charts here, that is about halfway through it. So I think I got a little ahead of ourselves just because there's windmills I didn't see before. Okay, there's more windmills up here. So that was where we were. Now we are at Condon. Okay. So that is the State Paulding, Condon State Paulding Complex. And so we were not quite to Mayville yet. So the transmission line that we saw earlier was this one. Also, the other fun part about this kind of flying is making mistakes. So we should be seeing another transmission line soon. What are we going to say, Dev?
I want to see you fly 747 with VORs only across the country, nonstop.
That'd be easy. I mean, it's not that hard with those high altitude VORs. They have like a 250 mile range. So, I mean, you get on it and just sit.
Oh, it's not as much work as I thought it was.
No.
Oh, I want to make your life hard.
I'm always up for a
Alright,
challenge.
okay.
If we had like the DC-6 and DC-3, that'd be a cool flight. Like was it the
so
United Airlines that
tempted
crashed in Colorado?
to get the DC-6.
Yeah, now, yeah, getting a DC-6 and doing that kind of flying would be fun. Mainly because the airplane has so much going on. You know, a modern airliner, it's kind of easy. I need. Does anybody have the DC-6 that can give a first-person review of it versus me going to the internet?
Yeah, their PMDG forum is full of RTFM responses, and I think most of them are correct. So it seems to work pretty good from what I've heard if you know how to fly it.
Yeah,
But I don't have it, so I don't know.
gotcha. I did see our airport VOR kind of pop in for a second there. It didn't last too long, though.
No, quick question. I see two OBSs, my main HSI, and then I also see a second OBS underneath my fuel monitor. How
Yeah,
can I
that-
activate the second one?
That's your NAV2 radio.
Never mind. Alright, thank you.
Hey, at least we got a tailwind on this flight, not a headwind. Now, is it Dave that's doing the yeah, Dave is doing the cross-country flight. Doing a cross-country flight with VOR only navigation would be kind of fun. And what do you guys think about this if we did a stream series where we visited every state and flew from one to the other, and we could, depending on where we're at in the state, could pick a different airplane to get somewhere else faster.
I love that idea.
So I'm thinking quite a bit of time possibly in the Comanche here, just because it's a good mix of complexity and speed. Then something for a quicker state hop. Let's say we're in Texas, we want to get to the other side really fast, or to the next state over. We could do the Vision Jet, for example. And then
Can I chime in?
sure.
EBM, of course, somewhere.
What you got?
Well, I had an idea too, and I think my idea makes that idea sound very easy, because my idea, believe me, I'm cooking them up, is do some kind of summer-long or winter-long series of around-the-world flight.
So you're saying
You know, it takes like 3 months as a special deal. It's a fantasy. It's just what my mind is delivering as an idea. It's not practical, but it makes a state-to-state, you know, thing seem pretty easy.
well, how about this? You know, 2 more weeks from now, we maybe after 2 weeks. So the 3rd week from now, Thursdays will be our normal time again, assuming everyone's okay with that, because we've actually been getting
that'd
good turnouts for Fridays too.
I kind of like Friday a lot better, personally.
I'll have to do a poll. What were we gonna say, Architect?
Well, I run into all kinds of kid conflicts on Fridays where I've
Okay.
got, in order to fly, I've got to make them do other things.
Yeah. So we'll be going back to Thursdays because that is just the classic.
Yeah, I was gonna say
night.
Thursday, Friday, but 6 p.m. on the Thursdays is very rushed. If you can make it 7 or 8,
I can make it 7.
that's win-win.
Makes it a little
7's
easier for me
win-win.
because I recently moved my daily commute around, so 6 is really rushed for me too, to get home, get the dogs taken care of, get everything set up. Because I'm getting home about 5 o'clock now.
7 would be perfect for
Okay.
me.
Yeah, actually, that would work. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work way better.
Okay, so
Oh, complete.
yeah, done. Sorry guys who weren't here. You snooze, you lose, I guess.
Who's not here right now that usually flies?
Suckers.
And you guys have all disappeared again.
Oh no.
Yeah, same. Okay, we're on the same server issue. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are on the same quadrant of the East Coast server. Sounds like.
Yeah.
It's usually how it works. For some reason.
I'd love
Anyways,
to know how that works, because it's just, it'll be the same people that pop in and out and the same people that stay within, within inside of each other.
I'm sure it's some form of instancing they do, because
It's when you log in or something, yeah.
yeah, we're all probably on different servers, but they're the quote-unquote East Coast server. So, and that would be an interesting experiment.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Because I remember with Elite Dangerous, there was only like a maximum number of people per instance. And when we did this group flight across the galaxy or whatever, like we're talking like close to 1,000 people joined this expedition.
Sounds awesome.
But you
That
could
does sound
only
awesome.
see 64 people in your instance, and the way if you jumped out or jump back in, you might get different people. So if there were certain people you were flying with, it was really critical that you jumped all at the same time. One of the first mass jumps we did, we crashed their servers. and actually Frontier, like Elite Dangerous Company, apologized to the expedition. Not the other way, not the expedition saying sorry we broke you.
Yeah.
Because they knew, because it was planned. like they planned it, and actually, because it was such a big thing, they actually threw in Easter eggs and stuff for the expedition, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But yeah, the mass jumps are when you all jump at the same time, leaving these star trail things. It's actually looks really cool.
Quick question. Does anyone know how to measure distance in Navigraph? Is that still not implemented?
Yes, I think you can. Hold on. One
I
second.
know how to do a nav map.
Yeah. I don't
Same.
understand why this
Yeah,
is
I
not
like
a thing in
Nav
Navigraph.
I believe there is. I swear I did it earlier today.
So, back to our original discussion before I forget my idea. So, you're saying we should do a round the world thing. And I'm saying we should do a state to state thing. How about this? On Thursdays, in the slower, low and slow GEA kind of airplanes, we do the state to state. And then on Sundays, we do the round the world with commercial.
Love it.
So that opens up some, longer flights. Or longer distance.
When you say
So-
state to state, do you mean like pick a flight plan in each state, or do you mean literally picking up where you left off the
Like a
week before?
continuous unbroken
Picking
line.
up where we left
Yeah.
off.
Yes, it'll be a continuous flight. So, depending on where we stop and where we're going for the day, we may have to get into a faster airplane. Or let's say we're in this area, which looks like it could potentially be a very fun bush flying area. We could hop in something slow and make our way to different airports and things.
Yeah, if there's a high density of airports, you take a slow plane, and if there's less density, take the faster planes.
Yeah, and we don't
Yeah, but
necessarily
we-
have to
we-
spend just one flight in a state either. We could explore around. The whole idea would be exploring the states, and I mean, this could give us content for years.
There's,
Well,
there's only,
there's 50 states, isn't there?
there's
Well,
only
there's-
52 weeks. There's only 52 weeks in a year.
It's a pretty ambitious idea.
And
But
then don't forget, you've got Canadians here, so you have to throw in the provinces as well.
Okay, we could do all of North America if you want to.
That's why I was thinking, if you do a flight
Maybe
plan
that's
within each state each week, then you can like showcase a state that week, as opposed to having to somehow find your way around and find your way into every state, in a continuous line.
'Cause I'm thinking 52 weeks, and how many states are there?
Well, there's 50
50
states, 50,
Yeah.
it's 50 states.
51 if you count Canada.
And
Yeah. Yeah, we're one.
one
Soon to
big
be that
state.
way.
So, I mean, we could do North America and do and if we do a state a week, you're not really gonna get a good sense of what the state offers, because if we were doing that, we'd constantly be in jets, except
That's
in like the
also a
Northeast.
whole year with potentially missing out on things like mountain flights in Colombia. Did we do one
Yeah.
of those recently? That was really
That actually is a
cool.
good point.
Well,
PNG
we don't have to.
calling.
We don't have to do it every week, though. If we want to break it up, we can. We can do seaplane flights while we're down in Florida, or if we want to do more,
I
You
go
know.
back. There you are.
or we could do it in every other week. How about that?
Yeah, call it a series.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
every other
and
week
just-
series.
Throw it into that playlist.
Yeah, that would work. We would have to create a tracking method in Discord somehow, and
Or just
people
one
can-
giant Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
a spreadsheet.
We could do a spreadsheet and just keep it in Google Docs, maybe.
Google Map, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
We'll have to somebody start a forum article and start throwing some ideas in there, and then what we can do
I'll do that right now.
is somebody can manage the Google Doc for us if you'd like to.
I'll create it.
All right. So Dev has just voluntold himself to manage the Google Docs for us. So thank you, Dev.
You're welcome.
Hey, just
I
like,
love
when you
Google
get
Docs.
about 10 miles out, you're gonna be like 100 feet above the terrain.
Oh,
Oh shoot, yeah, we're about 14 miles out.
Hello.
Well, that's pretty impressive. You guys just popped back in again, and you're exactly where you were in position to me when you disappeared.
Yeah, and everyone's come back.
nobody's touched our power settings. We were too busy talking about future plans.
Very.
Hey, I gotta go for a bit. I'll be back. Hold on.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and, while we are kind of at a break point here, plan for our next move here. So we're going to be doing a left turn
Yeah.
on a heading of 067.
067.
So let's go ahead
On
and
what frequency? That's
The
11530.
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
There is zero. Let's go 7.
Sorry, what frequency was that?
1153.
115.30. We still have time.
And we're going to be departing. Ooh, you know what? I still don't have that VOR popping up. So we might be having to depart our current VOR on that 068 or 067. So right now we've got the 2 flag going on, but that'll have to change to a from flag. So this little arrow right here will go behind us. And yeah, the terrain is continually climbing up in front of us, so we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot for the altitude, and let's trim up some. Start gaining some elevation here. Otherwise we'll be uncomfortably close to the ground. Of course, we're climbing once again when we're about to do a turn. So we need to go on up to 7,000 feet to keep our odd number for our easterly direction here. We're going to leave the power settings alone, but we will re-lean the aircraft once we get to 7,000 feet and stabilized. Come on, trim girl. There we go.
You sure you're not getting the next frequency, the 11530? It took a little bit from my radio to kick in.
I have it in my nav 2 right now, and it's kind of comes and goes a little bit. Haven't seen it in a little while though.
Okay, yeah, this aircraft does not have a nav 2, unfortunately. I just got the one.
How long do you think we are from the destination?
Final leg's another 82 miles, so we got another 30 minutes at least.
Got it.
Six miles from the IMB VOR. Curious to see if we can see this one as well as we could the last one. And we may actually have to climb a little higher, guys. The altitudes in this area are upwards of 9,000 feet. So if you want to, we can go ahead and climb to 11. Just try to keep it nice and slow all the way up. Try and get this thing trimmed out. Let's increase our power some here. Let's put 21 in there just to help keep our speed up, and let's bring our prop up to 21.
How's your fuel?
That's a good point. Got 30 gallons in the main tank, which is interesting because I'm hitting my aux button and nothing is changing on those. So I don't know. May just not have used enough fuel for it to register yet. .4 miles. main tanks are still showing 30 gallons, so we were burning 10 gallons an hour at cruise. So we got plenty of fuel to get to our destination, even if we don't have our tip tanks. And we only increased our fuel flow by 1 gallon per hour in this climb here. We did slow down significantly though. Alright, we are at 1.5 miles. Let's go ahead and go into heading mode. Should be a left turn to 067. We're clear left, and oh, there's an airport right below us. What are we flying over here? That is the Longview Ranch Airport that we're flying over.
That's a nice looking airport.
Yeah, it is.
And I see X's on the runway. On either end. Or actually I see X's on, yeah, it's closed.
Naturally.
It doesn't usually stop us.
No,
True.
it does not. This thing is
Oh,
oscillating.
there's the VOR again, nice and round.
Oh, did you see it again? I didn't look for it. I forgot to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, yeah, I see it right behind us. That's cool. It's so cool to be able to see those things.
I don't
And
even see the VOR beacons themselves.
we need to change this to 067. Ooh, something is wrong here.
Sorry, so what are we keeping track in the spreadsheets? The places to fly and what we have flown to?
I think we're just developing the idea of the
Creating a schedule.
Got it.
Got a schedule sorted out first.
I'm gonna head to
See what it
east
look-
here.
See what it looks like, get some input, sleep on it, chew
Yep.
on it, add to, subtract.
Alright, well I'm gonna hop off. Sorry. I got most of the way there, but
We'll start the forum post at least, and we can start dumping ideas in there as people think of them.
we'll do.
Thanks.
Yep, see ya.
See ya.
See you later.
I'm at 11,000 feet. I think I'm a little ahead of you guys. I'm in some heavy clouds right now.
Yeah, I see clouds in front of us.
Trying to get my compass lined up with my HSI here. Got some clouds in front of me too. Okay, that is fairly close. Try and get it due east here. Just a touch this way maybe. I'm coming up on 8,000 feet here, and I seem to be safe currently. And I'm coming up on the nav track. Was a bit off where we turned a touch early there, so let's go ahead and do left turn and jump on that nav track over to high. And let's confirm this real quick. Should be 067. So I got 6512. There's 67. We'll let this settle out, and then we'll double check our heading and HSI here again. Going into some clouds, but I can see the terrain out in front of us just enough to know that we're okay. There's 8,000 feet. We're going to go on up to 9,000 for now. We may have to go up to
Is
11.
this taking us straight to the airport, or?
Yep, this is taking us straight to the airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sitting at 9,000 right now.
Yeah, make sure all
And
pitot heat's on too.
Yeah, visibility is disappearing. Yeah, I got pitot heat on.
Yeah, my outside temperature is below freezing, which is scary. I've got some icing coming up right now, so let's go ahead and get that defroster going. A little full blast. I don't see anything picking up on the wings, but it's on the windows at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Outside's about -5 Celsius. Inside is a nice balmy 23.
I got 59 degrees in here for me. Let's open up that cabin heat just a touch, warm it up just a little bit. Alright, coming up on 9,000 feet, and if we pick up any more ice, we may have to descend, but we'll leave it here for now.
Keep an eye on that.
Get ready for that altitude hold, bud.
Actually, use my de-icing boots.
I don't have those fancy things.
I got a prop heat button. That's on right now.
And 9,000 feet. Get that manifold pressure back up to 20 if we can, and 2,000 on RPM. Trim down just a touch. Beautiful. This ice is a little sketchy, but we're okay at the moment. Not seeing too much picking up on the wings, if any at all. Get the defrosters on, and the cabin heat is rising. Still screaming at me for some more down trim. Give her a touch more. You can see the terrain ahead of us, so that's what we want to avoid. And on this nav track, there is the Rock Creek Butte, which is at 9106. So we're going to have to be climbing up over that. If we go into IMC, we might consider going south of the airport. Elevations down there are a bit more conducive to IMC weather. So let's get this thing 60 degrees. Just crank up the cabin heat a little bit more. And we are on 067. Let's confirm the HSI matches. Mostly matches. Close enough. Okay, let's go ahead and exit out and do a lean find again here, because we are much higher altitude than we started. Let's go ahead and richen it back up some. And start leaning it back out. Here's the stutter. Bring her back in some. Alright. It did not find it for the computer, so we are just going to bring it in a touch. And we're right back at 10 gallons per hour, so that should be okay. We'll monitor those temperatures.
I've just hit 0 visibility.
Uh-oh. The winds are kind of miserable up here, too. Not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and get those landing lights back on, just in case.
I'm moving up to 11,000, just out of. I don't want to hit any peaks.
Yeah, I'm seeing that terrain ahead of me. That's probably not a bad idea, honestly.
Looks like I'm actually coming out of the clouds by the looks of it.
Oh, I have picked up the VOR. It shows it's a little off, so let's go ahead and swap over to that. Yep, it shows it's a little off the nav track from that one. It's probably just based off the magnetic variations from between the two of them. It's a pretty far distance. So we'll let the plane correct for that. And And I'm gonna join Blockins here and go on up to 11,000 feet because it's looking kind of bad in front of us. Although I'm in a weird spot right now where I've got icing, I gotta climb through clouds. So what we're going to actually do, I'm enriching the engine just a touch. We're gonna go full power. Bring that prop RPM back in. Let's climb.
Oh, we got some nice cumulus nimbus here.
Yeah.
They break out of the clouds at about 10,500, or just before 10,500.
Always satisfying when you turn the oxygen on and you hear the hissing sound.
Yeah.
I have to grab the oxygen tank out of my backpack. Wow, this thing is correcting for this VOR
that
very
was
drastically.
on the checklist, right?
This thing is doing a crazy turn for this VOR. Let's go back into... Oh, no. Go back into heading mode here and just let it naturally progress to better. This thing is, it's literally going towards the VOR track at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. Mine's like right in the bed. It's lined right up. Ground. Well, okay, yeah. I don't know if this is the correct thing. Is you know, once you're locked onto it, you want to turn your nav knob until you're pointing straight at it, right?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah.
This just kind of helps you with the visualization.
Oh. That will help.
Coming up on a 10.5 here, and that's not high enough for me to get over these clouds.
I'm just over 11 and kind of popping through the odd break, but they're climbing. The clouds are climbing above me.
Yeah.
You're not going to climb over the clouds, that's for sure.
No. Well, you're going through them now with nice openings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost some of the ice that was on my window, but the wings are still clear, which is the most important part. We could have stayed down a little lower, but this is a little bit of a interesting adventure. Just trying to keep it around 120 knots there, or 120 miles per hour on the climb out rate. Should have the RPM at 24. Manifold pressures, that's best we're going to get right now with the non-turbo engine. Let's see if we can climb over the clouds here. I'm coming up on 12,000 feet. I actually do not know what the ceiling is on this thing. Did I say anywhere? Got plenty of fuel to climb over the clouds, so we're going to try it. Pretty good spot there to bust through I got 53 miles till we get to the airport. Hopefully there's a nice opening somewhere along the way for us. Once we get back to cruise, we'll have to go find a Gatorade bottle real quick at the airplane. There's 12.5. I'm at the tippy tops of the clouds here, seems like.
You'll come out of them eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna go on up to 13, keep it at that odd altitude. All I care about is the fact that we're safe and not iced up. Let's go ahead and start trimming over just a touch. Up on 13 and altitude. Hard nose over. And let's pull our power. Oh, nope. Power's good. RPM. Let's bring it back to 20. We'll let those temps stabilize and then we'll look for the next lean setting. Trim down. Trim down again, just a touch more. And our icing has disappeared, which is beautiful. Get those landing lights back off. And got 18.3 on the manifold pressure, 2020 on the prop. Not gonna mess with it. Now let's try richening this in quite a bit and try this Richard Peak again here. Those temps stabilize. Let's see if we can find our new lean setting. What's going on, Diesel? Long time no see, buddy. How are you? Alright. Moving back to the hot side of the world. There's the stutter. I'm surprised it's not kicking in there. So we'll bring her back in here. We'll just go by the horsepower percentage. How about that? So 52, 53, 54, and that's our max. Let's bring it back down just a touch till we get to the 53. So we're leaning it back out. There's 53. Bring it back in. 54. That's Rich Peak. You should see the EGT temperature somewhere around 1400. And we'll just keep an eye on our cylinder head temperature. We might even be a little on the rich side just because the fuel burn there, 10.4, which is just a touch higher than what we had before, so not too bad. All right, we are showing 43.7 miles to our destination, ground speed of 143 knots, so we lost a bit of that tailwind speed. It looks like it's down to 11 knots. And then I'm going to run to the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Gotta go to bed early. Just wanted to stop by and say, hey, don't forget the butter, waffle, and pancakes. Absolutely. I'll be thinking of you on the landing, Diesel. Have a good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. We are going to start thinking about our descent, though. We are 38.6 miles out.
Yeah,
And-
there's peaks. Isn't there a reason we went up? I can see the peaks now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
around 9,000.
Oh, okay.
Currently at 13, so I really can't descend too far. Now, the to the south is a bit better. So let's take a look at this.
Right. I see. Yeah.
The terrain to the south is much better. Just on this heading we're on right now, we're going to be towards that Rocket Creek Butte. If we head just a little to the south, though, we're down into the 7,000 foot terrain, 5,000 foot terrain. Let's go take a look at the charts for the airport here. We got a runway unspecified VOR chart. This says to overfly the airport on the VOR on a 315 heading. And then we could do a right turn and come back around and land. The weather here is currently a 33010. So, where are the runways? We are going to want to land on 3-1. There is a VOR for 1-3, but nothing for 3-1. So let's just take a look at the unspecified VOR chart here. There is a gap just south at 4,000 feet. I'm guessing, I bet we can get down into that gap with the current weather. So one thing we do need to note is the new altimeter is 2983, so let's go ahead and adjust for that real quick. 2983. It's going to change our altitude significantly. Here's 8, 1, 2, 3. About 100 feet or so. As we get closer here, we'll start paying attention and looking for some gaps in the clouds to get down into. The south side of the airport's where we're going to want to be. 4,000 feet and 5,000 feet. Oh, okay. I've got 32 miles to go. So we are somewhere... somewhere about right here, around Vinegar Hill, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the peaks here. It's a good thing we went up to 13,000 feet. I mean, those things aren't that far below us.
No. No, I dropped down. I'm just hit on my at almost 10,000 feet. I didn't quite make it, but.
I just flew over the airport. It's clear as a bell. Right
Beautiful.
now.
Yeah, looking at the weather here, they got visibility 10 miles and then no ceiling. So it's good to hear that you're seeing the same thing that we're seeing on the report here at the ATIS. Not having GPS definitely has its different challenges, that's for sure. Used to a 750 with terrain.
It's a good practice, though. You know, GPS, they're vulnerable to solar flares.
Yes. No, I love the extra challenge of flying with VORs and, you know, actually having to really pay attention to the charts.
Yeah, me too.
When I learned to fly, the flying school would not let us use GPS at all because it was a newfangled technology that could fail, and that you had to have your map on your lap.
It couldn't be trusted. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a couple simulator classes in college, and it was almost 100% VOR, VOR, dead reckoning, VOR, dead reckoning.
Yeah, that was my college.
I'm gonna start descending here, guys. 28 miles out. I can see through the clouds here just fine, so I'm not too worried.
-6 out.
Yeah, it's getting chilly.
Below freezing.
Got it nice and toasty in the cockpit, though.
Yeah, this being the aircraft I'm flying being an early 2020 aircraft, I have a feeling the internal cabin temperature isn't accurate. It's been sitting at 23 Celsius for quite a while, and when I flip it over to Fahrenheit, yeah, that can't be right. It's saying it's 23 Fahrenheit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh, I went into heading mode on accident. I hit a wrong button somewhere along the lines. I was like, I am diverting from my VOR track here.
That's okay. I'm about to fly over the airport and I'm looking for it. Oh, I see it.
So the airport is to my
Way
east.
behind.
So I'm actually north of the airport at the moment. Or
Yeah, you're
heading.
quite early.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be coming in from the north side because I accidentally hit the wrong button somewhere along the lines there. I don't know when I did that. 23 miles out. The airport. I mean, the mountains that we were concerned about are off to my right now, so that's good news.
Which runway were you looking at landing on?
3-1, but I'm going to be coming in. I'm basically going. I'll do a procedural turn. I'll fly over the airport, do a procedural turn.
Well, I'm definitely flying over the airport. I see Papa Ron's there.
Yeah, I'm just coming down now. I just touched down.
Okay. Another rainbow. Trying to keep this thing due east here.
Finally get some hand flying.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm about to hand fly in here myself. Get through these mountains here. Let's go ahead and do that. Do need to pull some power back. We are kind of expeditious right now. Let's get out of these mountains. It's beating me up. Trying to get just due east of the airport here.
What is the altitude of this airport?
33.
Ah, okay. Explain why the ground seems close.
But what I can't see is what that runway is I want. What heading that runway is I want with the wind.
The heading is 306. But these mountains right here should hopefully smooth the air out some for us.
It's a really pretty approach once you get down here on final, looking at those mountains with the
I
sun
bet.
in the background.
We're 14 miles from the airport.
Dang, you're way up.
That's where I accidentally started going the wrong direction because I went into heading mode for some reason. I must have hit like I said, I hit the wrong button somewhere along the lines and I caught it kind of late. Airport's pretty much due east of me right now, though.
In that case, I'm going to beat up the pattern a little bit. Wait on you.
Go for it.
Just about touchdown.
A little touch more power here.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm going to be entering the pattern from the east, or heading east, sorry. So it'll be a left pattern. Runway 31.
Roger, Havoc 622, airspace is clear.
36, what was the altitude at the airport? 3,000 something?
33.
33. Okay, that's coming 8 down to 43 or so. 8 miles to go. I think I see the airport right ahead of me there. Go ahead and get our landing lights on.
There's a bus here. I need to remove that bus.
Got some crop circles.
Too much problem.
Yeah, I saw those.
Cabin temperatures were rising.
That's weird.
How are the winds upon landing? Oh, we got someone off my nose there. Who's that? 5 miles out.
I'm on a ride downwind for 3-1. Midfield.
There's the airport.
I'm on final for 3-1.
You're on a right downwind or left downwind?
Ride downwind.
Right downwind. I'm about to be on a left downwind for 3-1 here, coming in from the west. Start pulling some power back out.
Oh,
Yeah, the windsock is straight out.
Well, it's mostly a headwind, at least.
Yes.
All right, so I think I see you there, Archetype. I'm kind of off behind you somewhere, just on the opposite side of the airport.
I'm on base right now.
Yeah.
And my engine might have just quit.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
You should be okay.
Barely holding a stall.
You run out of gas?
I'm not sure. It's all happening so fast. Call the fire department. I'll be on this gravel road.
There he goes.
That happened on
Oh,
base.
no.
Race to final.
He's right here. I don't know if you guys can see him on the stream or not. It's kind of hard to see, but he's going straight down.
Oh, I think I'm gonna live. No trees.
You just crossed the runway, I think.
Yeah.
You could probably keep
I did
rolling
make the
towards it.
airfield. Oh boy.
All right, I'm on the downwind right now. Trying to slow her up some here.
You're down. You're in one piece.
Yeah, he's on the
there.
ground in one piece. I think he had enough momentum. We could, we could at least push him to the airport.
Yeah.
Crazy. I can't
Oh,
believe
you're
that.
right on the edge.
Good lord.
What I'm intrigued about is my fuel aux tanks are showing full still. All right, let's go flaps, approach flaps, landing gear. Bring that RPM.
There you are.
Left base, 3-1. Flaps 2.
Is that Black Square Caravan or the stock Caravan?
Stock Caravan. My fuel's good. I don't know if I hit an engine switch. No clue. But it's too low to try to figure it out.
Yeah, it's the worst time for something like that to happen.
Yeah. All right, flaps are full. Getting her trimmed out. We're a little steep here. RPM's in.
Number 2 for landing 3-1. Have the traffic in sight.
Yep, short final, 3-1. Fuel pump is already on. I forgot to turn it off earlier. Whoopsies. Coming in a little steep. Not a big deal though. Got plenty of runway.
I still have a sudden craving to watch the movie Club Paradise with Robin Williams. Just the opening scene where they're flying onto the island and the pilot's like, I see a hole in the clouds, I'm going for it.
There's archetype.
The entire passengers screaming their heads off.
Gears down, locked, confirmed. Good. Props full. Mixture is slightly leaned out, not too much.
I don't know whatever happened to that movie. It was a good movie. It had a good cast. It's just not played. It's probably licensing.
Somebody just landed. There you go.
Yeah,
Just
landing
coming
right
down.
now.
Oh man, that's the butter. That's the butter.
The butter machine. Riding that wheelie out.
One more coming in.
I'll get myself off the runway here. Flaps are up.
You got time. Ish.
And exiting to the left here.
Yeah, I think I parked over by the tower. Red and white tower there.
Oh, it's just in time. Look at that. Alright guys, let's get out here and help Archetype out. Nice landing.
Do you have is this a custom airport for you?
No. We're gonna go down here. Everybody go park around Archetype.
Alright.
I'm trying to get it restarted to figure out what's going on. I can't pull up a message on the iCast. Nothing's working.
Oh no. And when we park, we'll pull Volanta over. And holy crap! I don't know if you guys have had Volanta or anything open, but the whole East Coast right now, Friday night ops, is going crazy. Got ATC coverage everywhere on the East Coast. Texas to Maine.
Interesting.
Yeah, bro, you're floating above the ground again. It
Really?
was like that was last. Yeah. That was last time we flew. It was the same thing, and we weren't. Weird.
Just my state of mind.
Yeah.
We got a landing rate of 72 feet per minute. Beautiful.
I should turn that on. I should get Volanta running again.
The only message I could find was low vacuum pressure,
That is weird.
and I don't. I'm not a professional on this airplane, so I don't know what that means.
Control E work?
I'm in full pretend immersion mode. Leave me alone.
Fucking brag. Alright, while we're thinking about it before we forget, let's take a look how we did. There's, you can see where I got off track. Did something goofy. Yeah, there's that 90-degree turn, so we started following in that VOR. So I did something wrong on that nav right there. And I don't know if I went to heading mode, and that's what got me, or what. But instead of following this right here with that correction, I think... Oh, I know what it was. I did change it to heading mode to fix this, and then never took it out. That's what it was. Okay. Okay, because the rest of it, you know, pretty good smooth turns. This one got all jinky because, you know, talking too much, but otherwise it looks good. And there's the 72 feet per minute landing. Get the drone camera out. Take some pictures. These mountains behind the airplanes look great. It's amazing how much bigger your Cessna is compared to the... I have the smallest airplane here, which is weird. Even the Bonanza looks huge compared to this thing.
It's a little rocket, though.
Yeah, tiny little rocket. Be a good screenshot of your blown engine.
It's a dead airplane. Mhm.
Alrighty. One more here to get the mountains in the background nicely. There we go. Alright, I'll be right back. Hi guys, I hope you hope you enjoyed that one. I appreciate every single one of you for joining tonight, and hope you learned something. Made a few mistakes there, a little rusty on the VOR navigation procedures, so it's always fun to make some mistakes, get some practice in, and learn something new, especially with an airplane that is the first time I've actually done VOR nav with that airplane, so a little different than other airplanes, but mostly the same. We'll be back again on Sunday for our commercial night, and probably be in the Phoenix again, testing out the mini SU and the ProDesk Sim, however it is. So anyways, catch you next time, and happy flying. See ya.